So first of all, on behalf of Stucksoft Center, I would like to welcome you all guys in this introductory or demo session for our upcoming live training program under the title of Complete Reinforced Concrete Structure Design by using Etabs, Rcdc and Advanced Excel. Before going ahead, I would like to request with you all guys, I just wanted to have the active participation from all of you. Means during this entire demo session, I don't want to keep the conversation being as from one side. I want to keep this conversation both sided. So whenever I will ask any question, you have to respond to that question in the chat box. The first thing. Second thing is that whatever your doubts, questions, problems will be there in respect of the conduction of this training program, in respect of duration of this training program, in respect of content of this training program, whatever the question you are having, doubts you are having, we will have question answer session at the end of this demo session. So you can ask your doubts and question at the end of the demo session. During this entire demo session, you have to listen, and whatever the question I am asking, you have to respond to that question over your chat box. Hope that is clear to all of you. Now, before going ahead, here I am expecting that you all attenders are belonging to the different categories of civil engineers. I am expecting that you all are civil engineers, okay, but you are belonging to a different categories. So the first category I am expecting that you all, many of you are pursuing their bachelor's or master's, and they have the interest in the subject of structural analysis, structure design, and they wanted to become a structural engineer in future. The first category I am expecting. The second category I am expecting that many of you have completed their academic, have completed their bachelor's, masters and whatever, and they have worked on site since from long time. Now they wanted to change their work profile from the site engineer to the design engineer, and with that aspect and with that objective they are coming here to see this demo session, and they wanted to upgrade themselves in the field of structural design. And the third category I am expecting that is those who have the experience of designing the structure, but they are in the initial phase, they are not having that much experience. They have learned the design from different social media platform, and they have not a confidence to deal the entire project. They have not a confidence to tackle the problems, real challenges, and with that lack of confidence they are coming here to make their confidence as to a next level and wanted to become a professional structural engineer. And the fourth category I am expecting that is those who have the good experience in the field of structural design. They are working in the field of structural design since from last 20 years, 30 years. They have designed many projects, but the problem with them is that they are working with older software, they are working with their manual calculation. Now they wanted to upgrade themselves with the ongoing practice, with the ongoing trending software, so that they can compete with the ongoing market. So these four categories I am expecting. So here one simple question I would like to ask with you all guys, so I can understand all of you. Just let me know from which category do you belongs. From which category amongst all of these categories you belongs. Just write in the chat box so I can understand. Please fast. Just please fast. Write in the chat box. Okay, Ashok is saying from first category. Okay. Okay. Umesh Shah, BE Civil final year. Okay, fine. Just write in the chat box. Uh, Puthiraj 3 and 4. Vishwajit Abdar MTech student. I'm looking at your response. Please guys. As I told you, I don't want to keep this conversation as one sided. So I just want to have your active participation. Tahir said fourth category. Okay, anyone else? Fast, quickly, just write in the chat box. Hurry up. Mohammed K. Hisham, second and third category. Okay, fine. Nitesh, master in structural engineering but working in a water resource department. Okay, okay. Please respond in the chat box. Watch up first category. Okay, fine. First category. Okay, fine. Manoj, Amishkar, fourth category. Fourth category. Okay, fine, fine, fine. I got it. I got it. So you all actually belonging to the different categories, not from a one category. Okay, so the audience is from all of these categories, so accordingly we will do the further discussion. Now the next point, we had to understand that for a structural engineer, what are the four important pillars, or the career of any structural engineers depends on which important pillars that we need to understand. So amongst them, the very first thing is to know about the design softwares. As per the current scenario, it is not for the past case. As per the current scenario, the very first requirement is to know the software. If you are not having the skill to operate the software, if you are not having the skill to handle the software, if you are not able to interpret the design results of the software, then you cannot do the design. Because doing the design by manual approach, by the conventional approach, by old softwares, by the 2D softwares, it is very difficult to deal the complicated structures that the architects are giving nowadays. Lots of complications actually is there. If you would like to design that project, it is very important to learn about the software. So very first need is to look into the market. What are the different softwares are actually available? And guys, it is not mandatory to learn all the softwares. Students or the freshers or the beginners, those who are coming in the field of structural design, they are trying to learn all the softwares and they are going to do the mistake. You actually have to find out for your requirement, for your need, for your purpose, which one is the best suitable software. If suppose you wanted to design the RCC structure, so the software category is different. If you would like to design the steel structure, software category is different. If you would like to design the substructure, software category is different. If you would like to design the steel structure, software category is different. If you would like to do the connection design, software is different. If you would like to do the detailing for RCC structure, it is different. If you would like to do the detailing for the steel structure, it is different. So you will not be a expert in every of the field. You have to become a master of one field or one area. So you have to specify which software will suits your demand, your need, your requirement. So many softwares are available in the market. You have to learn the software in deep along with the understanding of the algorithm of the software. What does mean the algorithm of the software? I will discuss this in detail on later stage. So very first is what? The software. The next thing, that is nothing but your design concepts. Guys, it is very much important. The people are sometime what they are doing, they are learning about the software and they are getting somehow the mastery of the software, but they are not sound with the basic concepts. They are not sound with the categories of different structural elements. They are not sound with the material properties and their nature, their response. They are not sound with the structural response under the different kinds of the loading. They are not sound with the methods of analysis. So lots of things are there. If your basic is not sound, then you will not able to deal with the software. You cannot do the design. Your manual approach for designing of the different structural element, that also be very sound. The basic concept is very important because the software is going to work around your concept. We are the human actually going to build this software. So whatever the basic concept, basic approach or basic algorithm is there, that all basic algorithms actually feeded in your software. So software is not going to do something else. It is going to based on the theory, it is going to based on the calculation, it is going to work on that, it is going to give the result on that. So you need to know when I'm going to apply the gravitational load, how my structure is going to deform, how my structure is going to respond. If I'm going to apply the lateral load, so how my structure is going to deform, response. What are the different types of the beams, their response, shear force, bending moment. When my beam is going to be subjected to only gravitational load, how the response will be. If my structure is going to be subjected to gravitational plus lateral load, means earthquake and wind, how the structure is going to respond. What is the static analysis, what is the dynamic analysis, what is the difference, when to adopt. These all things are very much important. If you are not sound with this, you cannot deal with the software, you cannot become a professional structural engineer. So basic is very much important, and these things you will get from your academic, or if you have not done it correctly, you need to revise it. Okay. And thereafter the next requirement to become a professional structure is to have the knowledge of the design codes or design code requirements. It's a limitations. If you would like to become if you would like to design your structure as economical, as stable, then you have to follow the design code. If you want to make your structure serviceable as well, so without of following your design code, you cannot build your structure economical, you cannot build your structure as stable, you cannot build your structure as serviceable. So what are the different codes available in Indian practice? You need to go through that. IS 456 is there, IS 189, ISO 800 is there, IS 1893 is there, IS 875 is there, IS 13920 is there, IS SP 34, SP 16, IS 190 is there. So what for these all different codes actually available, you need to know for what purpose the specific code is going to be used. That is what important. If you are not going to follow the code, you are going to harm to your structure as well as the people, those who are going to live in that structure. So guys, that's why it is very important to follow the design code and to have the knowledge of the design code. And after having the knowledge of the design code, how to implement this codal recommendation in the software, it is another skill that is also important to understand. And guys, it might be in your experience, it might be in your knowledge, the main thing whenever you are going to look for the job, when you are going to ask for the job in any of the consultancy, in any of the MNC, in any of the to any of the personal to a person, okay, to a person personally, if you are asking for the job, they are first asking a question, how many year of experience you are having. The fourth important requirement, just a minute. Okay. So the fourth requirement is your experience. So the people are asking for the experience, and guys, it is a myth that we are considering the experience means the counting of the years. Experience doesn't mean to count the number of years. Experience, we are expecting that how many real example projects you have completed on your own. Actually, this is the counting of the experience. How many real example projects you have completed on your own from start to end. That is going to add the experience in your design portfolio. Because whenever you are going to deal with the real example projects, real project from the architect, so you will come across with many of the challenges, with many of the questions, with many of the problems. And if you are going to tackle all that problems, that is actually adding the experience in your design portfolio. So whenever you are going to deal with the real example projects, so you need to know how to read the architectural drawing, how to decide the preliminary section sizes of the elements, how to decide the positioning, how to decide the orientation, how to decide the material properties, how to do the modeling, how to find out if any problem in the modeling, how to do the load calculation for the static, for the dynamic, for the lift machine room, for the overhead water tank, okay, how to do the calculation for the temperature loading. So there are so many different types of the loadings, methods of analysis, and stability checks also there. So how to perform all of this, if any member is going to fail, how to tackle that problem to pass the failed member, okay, how to do the scheduling, detailing, how to do this. So this is what going to add the experience. So guys, these are the four important pillars, and these are the four important uh, core requirements on which the career of any structural engineer will be dependent. If you are not sound with all of these four requirements, then it is very difficult for you to get your dream job, your dream work. So you need to get the command over all these four requirements. Amongst them, again I am repeating, very first is to get the knowledge of your design software. Second is your basic concept, and third one is your design codes and its recommendation, and fourth one is your experience. So guys, here I would like to ask one more question. Just let me know, do you have the command over all of these four requirements? Just write in the chat box quickly, fast. As I earlier said that I will ask the question, you should be very active. Just write in the chat box, do you have the command over the all four requirements? Or tell me, I have one, I have two, I have three. Okay, just write in the chat box fast. Write in the chat box, do you have the command over all these four requirements? Yes or no? Vacha, no. Manoj 234, okay. Umesh 4 is not. Shiraj Patel, no. No. Okay, okay, okay. Just write in the honestly. It's fine. Okay. No one is perfect. Just write in the chat box. Please fast. Sudhir, okay. Milan 234, okay, fine. 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 Abhay, no. Okay, fine. I'm reading. I'm looking at your response. Please fast. uh, Sudhibita Sethi, yes, 3. Darshani, 3. Okay, fast, just please, we have to move ahead. Lot of things we have to discuss, guys, please. Your active participation is very important. Write in the chat box. 4, okay, 4. Okay, Vishwajit Abdar 1 and 3 means design software and design code, but but he is weak in basic concept, and he is not having the experience of dealing the real example project. Okay, Vishwajit, I got it, your condition. Okay, fine. So shall we proceed ahead? Just write in the chat box fast. Shall we proceed now? Okay, thanks for your participation, active participation. Okay, good. Now, so guys, those who are having the experience or the skill of the design software but not others, those who are having the knowledge of basic concept but not others, those who are having the command over two requirement, three requirement, so they don't need to worry about. We are coming up with this training program under the title of Complete Reinforced Concrete Structure Design by using CSI Etabs, STAD Rcdc, and Advanced Excel. So this training program, guys, is going to cover all these aspects, all these four requirements. In this training program, we are going to deal in detail about the Etabs software, about the Rcdc software from basic level to advanced level. In this training program, we are going to cover all the things with the, it's a base concept. We are not directly going for the detailing, we are not directly going for the scheduling. At every of the point, we are coming from the basic, from the start point, from your academic time, with the manual calculation. So we are not directly going to jump to the advanced level, to the smart level, to the professional level. We are going to cover everything from the basic. And the third thing, all the things obviously is needed to be done by the code. Without of the code we cannot do the design, that's quite obvious. So we are going to do the design in respect of the design codes. And guys, the good thing is that in this training program we are going to cover a real example project also, not the dummy project, not the simple project, not the standard geometry project. We are going to cover the complicated project of any of the metropolitan cities. Okay, that may be of Bombay project, Pune project, Hyderabad project, Bangalore project. From any of the metropolitan cities we are going to take a project, and that project we all together going to complete as a structural engineer. So you will get a confidence to deal the project. So that also we are going to cover in this training program. And this training program, guys, is going to start from 11th of December, and the timing of the session will be in evening 7:30 to 9 p.m. Okay, so the conduction plan and many things we will discuss it at the end. But prior to that, let's try to understand what is the content of this training program in detail. And as I earlier said that this training program we have planned or we have scheduled for all the categories of civil engineers, those who are pursuing bachelors, those who are site engineers, those who are design engineer, those who are experienced. For all the categories of the civil engineers this training program is actually formatted. Okay, so now let's try to understand one by one what actually we are going to cover in this training program. So this training program is scheduled in three levels: beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. People at this point getting confused that these are the three trainings. No guys, it is not the three trainings, it is actually the one training. In that we are going to cover these three levels: beginner level, intermediate level, and advanced level. Step by step we are moving ahead, or you can call it to as chapter: beginner chapter, intermediate chapter, and advanced chapter. So these three chapters, these three levels we are going to cover in this one training program. So the what topics we are going to cover in the beginner level, let's talk about that. So in the beginner level, our objective is to give the confidence about the basic concepts of RCC structure design, about the basics of your software. Because whatever the topics or whatever the things we are going to cover in the upcoming levels, so you should be sound with the basics from the beginner level. So we will discuss the interface of the Etabs software, how to operate the Etabs software, how to handle this Etabs software, what are the different things actually to manage in this Etabs software in the form of its interface. What is the history of this Etabs software, how this Etabs software has developed over the time, what is the strength of this Etabs software, what is the weakness of this Etabs software. We are going to learn all of these things in detail. First thing. Second thing, in the beginner level we are going to do the validation of the software. See, whenever you are going to work, very first thing is needed to do is the validation, whether that tool, that object, that software is going to give the right result or not. If you are giving the right input, software should give the right output. If you are giving the wrong input, software will give you wrong output. So who will check the software? So we will discuss with the small tools, with small object, with small projects. We are trying to understand the algorithm of the software. Along with that, many things we are going to learn, like load application of different types of point load, uniformly distributed load, area load. Okay, these are the some important things to go for the smart level. And after the validation, we are going to dive deep into the understanding of the important commands of the Etabs software. So in a very detailed way we are going to learn about the Etabs software, what its versions, what is the file format, what does mean the $et file format, edb file format, ebk file format, what are their importance, what does mean the quick access bar, set display option, snap option, how to do the selection, deselection, how to do the correction for the modeling, editing command, how to do the assignment for the loads, how to do the definition for the section property, for the diaphragm property, for the load combination properties, how to define all of these things, how to add the additional elevation. Many things we are going to cover in the important commands, guys, and we are also going to learn the how to operate the software. And with that, in the beginner level itself, we are going to take one dummy project. After learning the command, after learning the validation, we are going to take all of these things into the application by the with the sample project. So one sample dummy project we are going to take to give you more insights of the software. Our objective is not to deal the project, our objective is to deal the software, our objective is to understand the software, our objective is to understand the basics of RCC design. That is the objective of this sample project. We are going to cover how to do the modeling, how to do the load calculation, how to do the analysis. Many things we are going to cover at this stage, and after that we are going to look at the analysis results, we are going to validate the analysis results, whether the loads are properly transferred or not. Everything we are going to cover in this. And in this way we are going to complete our beginner level, and after the completion of beginner level, all of the participants will be confident to deal with the software, will be confident to deal with the basics of your RCC structure design. So guys, I just wanted to know how you got the complete idea what you are going to learn and what will be the outcome of your beginner level. Just write in the chat box, I got it. Write in the chat box fast, I got it. Write in the chat box, I got it. What is the objective and what is the content? Please. Got it, got it. Very good. Faraz, yes. Nitesh, absolutely. Very good. Got it, got it. Write in the chat box. Sayyid Mubashir, I got it. Vacha, got it. Okay, fine, fine. Quickly respond. Now then we are going to understand what topics we are going to cover in our intermediate level. Okay, guys. So now, after completion of the beginner level, where you will learn all the basics of software, all the basics of your RCC design, okay, we are moving towards the intermediate level. And in intermediate level, as I earlier said, that we are going to cover one real example project with an objective to give the experience to our participants to deal the real example project as a professional structural engineer. Okay, so as a professional structural engineer, we are going to deal a project. So one real project we are going to take. So whenever you are going to work as a structural engineer, so very first thing you will get the architectural drawing from the architect. So this kind of the architectural drawing you will get from the architect, and after getting this architectural drawing, your work is going to begin. So very first thing you need to understand how to read the architectural drawing. If you are not sound, if you are not having the skill, if you are not knowing the knowledge for how to read the architectural drawing, you cannot proceed ahead. So very first thing is to understand the architectural drawing. After understanding of your architectural drawing, the next step is to prepare your structural framing plan. This is what your structural framing plan. On the left hand side, the first figure is nothing but your structural framing plan. So what does mean by the structural framing plan? What is the definition of structural framing plan? How to prepare this structural framing plan? That is needed to understand. It is actually the skeleton of your structure. So while preparing this structural framing plan, you have to make many of the decisions. very first you need to find out what type of building you are going to deal with. After looking at the architectural drawing, what type of building. Second, you need to decide some preliminary decisions. You need to take some preliminary decision. What material property you should have to choose, what preliminary section size of the column, beam, shear wall, uh, uh, slab you should have to choose, what preliminary sections, what preliminary materials you have to choose, what section sizes you should have to choose. Thereafter you have to decide the position where you have to put your column, at what point you have to put your column. We have to decide the orientation of the column. How to decide the orientation of the column, this is the another thing. So many questions will be there and you have to find the solution for that. So we have made one of our book of practical guide under the title of Reinforced Concrete Structure Design using Etabs, Rcdc and Excel. By using this book of practical guide where all the guidelines have been mentioned, under that guidelines you can complete these things and you can prepare your structural framing plan. There we have mentioned that experts recommendation. Along with that we are going to take the help of a spreadsheet for deciding the preliminary section size. We have made many well customized advanced level Excel sheet as per the need of the structural engineers. So after using of this you can easily get the preliminary section size of different structural elements. Now after that you can prepare your structural framing plan, and after having the structural framing plan you have to initiate your work with the Etabs software. And guys, when you are going to land to the Etabs software, the first thing is needed to have the grids in the Etabs software. Now there are different methods to create the grids in the Etabs software, or you can call it to as reference line. It is what? Reference lines. If you are not going to prepare the reference line, if you are not going to prepare the grid line, if you are not going to have the center line, then it will be very difficult to do the correct modeling. And if your model will be wrong, all of the later things will be wrong. Your analysis will be wrong, your design will be wrong, your scheduling, detailing, everything will be wrong. That's why the lots of precisions you have to take while having the grid line, while having the center line, while having your reference line in the Etabs software. So there are different methods. Offset point method is there, Etabs template method is there, export and import method is there. These are the different methods available in our Etabs software, and we have to operate over that. So how to do with all of these different methods, which method is more suitable in which situation, which condition, that all points we are going to cover in detail. And after this we have to prepare our we have to create our model. So in our beginner level some part of the modeling we have learned. In intermediate level, in a smart way we are going to do the modeling for the beam, for the column, for the slab, for the shear wall, for the curved beam, for the inclined column, for the inclined slabs, for the different edges of the slabs, that we are going to learn. And with all of that we are going to complete the modeling part. How to do the modeling for the staircase? Okay, there are three different ways to consider the staircase in your structure. Very first is the actual modeling, second is the normal modeling of the slab, third case, neither to model the staircase nor to model the normal slab, we have to do the separate calculation of the staircase and then have to assign to the member, supporting member. So what are these three methods to consider the staircase load in your structure? We are going to discuss that point also in detail, right? And with all of that we are going to complete our modeling part, and after the modeling of the part we have to do some corrections. It might be in your experience there are different types of the beam: primary beam, secondary beam, tertiary beam. So in the Etabs software, how to make the primary beam, or we can say the simply supported beam or fixed beam, okay, propped cantilever beam. So Etab is not knowing, we have to define to the software. How you can define it? By movement release concept. So what is the meaning of movement release concept? What is the meaning of torsion release concept? Okay, what are the types of the torsion? Okay, and what to do with different types of the torsion, when to release the torsion, when to consider the torsion, what is the behavior of your structure with torsion, without torsion, with movement, without movement. That all points we are going to cover in the light of our book of practical guide and its implementation in the Etabs software. Thereafter, we have to do the load calculation. We have to do the load calculation for the wall. We have to do the load calculation for the slab. We have to do the load calculation for the uh, earthquake. We have to do the load calculation for the wind by using the Etabs template, by using the manual calculation. Okay, so we are going to learn about the load application. We are going to see how to do the load calculation for the lift, how to do the load calculation for the overhead water tank, how to assign that load to your structure. That also we are going to learn. And guys, after that, the most important thing is about the load combination. Very important. In our academic time, what we have learned, the two load combination. One is service load combination, dead plus live. Another one is your dead plus live with 1.5 factor, with which is nothing but your factored load. But in reality, when you are going to deal for the project, when the gravitational load is there, when the lateral load is there, at that time about to more than 20, more than 30, more than 50, more about to 100 load combination you need to define under the different condition. When you are going to define the service load combination for orthogonal structure, for non-orthogonal structure, factor load combination for orthogonal and non-orthogonal structure, service load combination for static load case, for the dynamic load case, factor load combination for the static load case, for the dynamic load case. So how these all load combination is needed to define in the Etabs software, we are going to learn in detail. बहुत डिटेल में हम लोग ये सारे कॉम्बिनेशन को किस तरीके से आपके सॉफ्टवेयर में इंप्लीमेंट करना है, वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न ऑल दोस थिंग्स इन डिटेल, right? And after the completion of the modeling part, we have to move towards the analysis. And guys, after the completion of the modeling part, after that setting of the definition, we need to do the checks for the modeling. People sometimes are failing to correct the model. They are getting the failure in the modeling. So how to correct that modeling, we will discuss in that. We will discuss that point in detail. And after the completion of the modeling, we have to move towards the analysis, and we will do the analysis. And guys, after the completion of analysis, you should have the knowledge to interpret the analysis results. People can easily perform the analysis. You just have to click over the analysis button. The software is going to perform the analysis, but who will interpret the analysis results? Who will ensure the analysis result is right? Who will ensure all the members passing the load to the supporting member? Whether your lateral load is considered or not, whether your lateral load is transferred or not, whether your wind load, earthquake load, whether static analysis, dynamic analysis has been performed correctly or not. Who will ensure that? So this is what very important we are going to understand. And the analysis results, when your structure is subjected to only gravitational load, will be totally different. When your structure is subjected to gravitational plus lateral load, is totally different. There is an important term as reversal action. There is what important term about the reversal action. When we are going to deal a project, when we are going to deal a project where only the gravitational loading is there, so what we are expecting, the bending moment diagram for the fixed beam will be of this shape. Here the negative moment will be, here the negative moment will be, here the positive moment will be. This is possible, and this recommendation or this expectation is possible when your structure is subjected to only gravitational load. But when your structure is subjected to gravitational plus the lateral load, you will get the response of your structure with the analysis result in this format with the reversal action. At every of the point you will get two stresses, positive and negative, positive and negative. and in the middle you will get less. Over the support you are getting more. So this is called as reversal action. What does mean the reversal action? How to deal with this reversal action? How to design the element with this reversal action? We will discuss that point also. Whether the all loads were transferred to all the columns or not in the gravitational direction, we are also going to discuss that part. So in detail we are going to cover interpretation of the analysis results. We will ensure whether the analysis results are right or wrong. Shear force, torsion value, how these values are coming, whether they are right or wrong, we are going to learn that part also. And guys, with all of that we are going to move towards the design. After the analysis we will check overall the analysis is right or wrong, and after the checking we are moving towards the design. And before going ahead for the design we had to set the definition in the Etabs software. Guys, this is the very important stage where you have to set the definition for the designing of the different structural elements. Based on this definition of your design is actually going to be done by the software. If you are not having the knowledge what does mean by the p delta analysis, if I am going to say yes, if I am going to say no, what will be the impact on my result, then you cannot use the software. What does mean the additional movement, you are not sound with the concept, you cannot implement this. What does mean the minimum eccentricity, what will be the impact if it is yes on the design result, what will be the impact if it is no on the design result. When to do the pattern lie load as 0, when to consider 0.75, when to consider 1, what does mean the utilization factor limit. And we also have to understand what framing type you should have to consider. Either you should have to consider the ductile framing, either you should have to consider the ordinary framing, either you have to consider the sway non-sway. This is the very important parameter or the option to choose. Based on that the entire structure design is dependent. Okay, and especially your column design, because you should know the what is the importance of effective length factor for designing of your column. Okay, if you are choosing the ductile, the effective length factor calculation will be totally different. If you are choosing the non-sway, the effective length factor calculation will be totally different. If you are going to choose the ordinary, effective length factor calculation by the software while designing your column will be totally different, and that's why your design result will be totally different. So how to decide it, for that we will discuss in detail, and you should be sound with this chart. What is the algorithm of your software is very important to understand. This chart will decide how your Etabs software is going to do the calculation for your column, for doing the calculation for the design of your column, what algorithm your Etabs software is going to follow for designing of your column. What does the algorithm? Let's try to understand. Suppose you all guys are going to do the design for a particular element on that side. On this side the same element I am also going to design. Now what will happen after the completion of the design? You all guys have done the design and getting some results. Okay, that may be safe, correct, not a problem. And on this side I have done the design, my design result is also correct, okay, and safe, nothing is there's no any problem. But still the design results will be different. Why that design result is different? Because you have followed some other step to do the design. I have learned from some other institute, from other practice, okay, with other books. So I have done with that steps and I have done the design. Both the designs are correct, but the approach to do the design is different. That is nothing but your algorithm. Now take the third person. One is your side, other is my side, and third is, let's say, Etabs software. So Etabs software is also going to do the design for that same element, and its a design result will be different. Why? Because the Etabs software has followed its own algorithm, its own feeded steps to do the design. So you need to understand the algorithm of the Etabs software for designing of different structural element, not only column but for beam, for the shear wall, for all the elements. So we are going to learn that also algorithm, and by following that we are going to do the completion of the design. आपको डिज़ाइन कंप्लीट करना है, and after the completion of the design we have to you should be able to interpret the design results, the values that the software is giving. And people are asking the question, sir, my member is failing, what to do? My demand of the percentage of the reinforcement is beyond of the expectation, what to do? These are the real questions the people are asking, because of lack of confidence, because of not having the knowledge of algorithm of the software, because of not having the knowledge to interpret the design results of the software. They are asking lots of question. People sometimes doing the design for G plus 2 floor building, and for G plus 2 floor building their demand of the section size is around 230 by 800. How is it possible? 230 by 800 section size demand will be required for about 10 to 12 floor buildings, or lots of conditions are there, but this is totally unfair, unexpected to provide the 230 by 800 section size for the for the G plus 2 floor building, residential building. So it's totally wrong. What problem is there? They are not knowing the concept. The member is suppose going to fail, they are going to give the solution for that. I will ask this question later on. Now sometimes the students are asking, sir, on the lower floor demand is less, on the upper floor my demand of the reinforcement is more, why it is happening? So there is again the basic concept, logic is there, basic concept is there, okay, your framing concept is there, why this is happening, we will discuss this part also. And I just want to ask a simple question, guys. Suppose if any member, let's say beam, column, or shear wall, whatever the element, if suppose you are going to deal, and if suppose it is going to fail, so what will be the solution for that? Let's say column, if any column is going to fail in the design from the Etabs software, what will be the solution to make that column pass the design check? Write in the chat box. Write in the chat box. Write in the chat box. If suppose increase the section size, ABC is saying that increase the section size, okay, please all of you are requested to write in the chat box, need to increase the size. Very good, very good. I want your passive change of cross section and orientation. Very good, Akib, very good. I'm not getting Menon what you are saying. Anyone else? Please write in the chat box quickly, fast. लोड में प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है, साइज को चेंज करना पड़ेगा, ओके. Sudhir, the dimension of the column and orientation, okay, means the size to be increased and orientation, very good. Increase the concrete grade, okay, very good. This is also the option. Yes, please write in the chat box, you all are correct, fast. क्या करना पड़ेगा बताइए, फास्ट. What to do? If my member is failing, to pass that failed member, what to do? Just write in the chat box, please, fast. What I should do? Please tell me. Okay, so I'm expecting the answer from all of you, but I'm not getting the answer. See, all of you are giving directly the solution. No one is said that find the problem, cause of the failure. Without of diagnosing the problem, you are giving the treatment. Without of diagnosing the disease, you are going to give the treatment. Am I right or wrong? Just write in the chat box. आपने चेक किया क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है, what is the cause of failure, and directly giving the solution. Hello. Am I right or wrong? Yes or no? Right in the yes. Without of diagnosing the problem, how you are going to give the solution? And That's why we need to read the design report of your Etabs software. Design calculation for the different structural elements from the Etabs software, and that's why I'm saying that again and again. We need to understand the algorithm. We need to understand the steps that the Etabs software is following for the designing of different structural elements. So in our training program, we are going to deal in detail, we are going to discuss in detail about the steps that the Etabs software is going to follow for the designing. Thereafter we are going to learn whether the Etabs software is going to follow all the codal recommendation, codal consideration or codal demand in the Etabs software for the designing of different structural element for giving your design results. If any member is failing, what is the solution for that? By looking at the design results, we are going to prepare. Okay, these all things we need to do. There may be a problem at the modeling stage, there may be problem at the analysis stage. We will do the correction for that, and then we'll come back to the design stage and we will complete our design. And now at different stages, we need to take the help of spreadsheets. First is to do the load calculation, first is to do the validation, and third is to uh, do the actual design of different structural elements. If suppose you are going to do the slab design, if you are going to do the design for the column, if you are going to do the design for the overhead water tank, if you are going to do the design for the uh, foundation, okay, so that things we are going to cover with the help of smart level Excel sheets. And these all Excel sheets, guys, we are going to share with you in this training program. So no need to ask a question, sir, we will get this spreadsheet or not. So definitely you will get this spreadsheet. And now your structural engineer responsibility is not to do the design only. Your structural engineer responsibility is to do the optimization in design. Suppose one project you all are going to deal, and after the design your demand of the reinforcement is suppose 1000 ton, is suppose 1000 ton, and the same project I am going to deal, and my demand of the steel for that is 850 ton. Now whose design result is going to be accepted, you can understand. So that is called as optimization. So where we can do the cutting for the section size, where we can do the cutting for the reinforcement, where we can do the economy. Okay, how we can make your structure design as economical. People sometimes asking question. Okay, so the best stage where you can do the optimization, where you can achieve the economy, where you can reduce the cost of the project is your design stage. It is not the planning stage, it is not the execution stage. Actual stage is your design stage. Okay, so how to do the optimization, we will learn this in detail in our training program. And with all of this we have to proceed towards the preparation of structural framing plan. Sorry, we have to prepare final report, final sheet to send on site for the site execution. You know very well, the manual calculation model file, we are not going to send on site. We have to send on site, that is what, schedule and detail. Okay, in respect of this schedule and detail, our site is going to be executed. So how to prepare the schedule and detail, we are going to do that also. We are not only going to do the analysis and design for each and every element, beam, column, slab, shear wall, footing, every element we are going to prepare the schedule in detail, and after that we are going to complete this project. But here in this way we are going to complete this project, but one challenge will be there. If I am asking to do this scheduling and detailing for, let's say, G plus 5 6 floor building, so you will take hell lot of time, about 2 days 3 days. That is the problem if we are going to do it manually. We will learn in our training program first by manual approach, means in the CAD software, and after that we are going to see your STAD RCDC software. Okay, because time is a big problem. When you are going to work at a time, you are not responsible to deal one project. This is our personal experience. You are not responsible to deal one project at a time. You have to deal with multiple project. You have the timeline to complete the project, and if you are giving only the you are giving the 1 day 2 day for scheduling and detailing only, so you will not able to complete the project. That's why we had to take the help of some smart tool for preparing your design sheet in a short period of time, and that is possible to do with your STAD RCDC software. This is a very powerful and smart tool for preparing your schedule and detail in a few seconds, in a few minutes. So as similar that of your Etabs software, as we have learned, it's a basic, it's a smart, it's advanced. Likewise, we are also going to understand and we are going to discuss in detail about this RCDC software from its beginning, from its introduction, from its history, from its user interface, from its application, and thereafter we are going to complete the project for the beam design. See, in a single click it is now giving the complete schedule for your beam in just a single click, in a minutes, in a minutes. Try to understand. And second, if you are going to see for the detailing, so in a single click, in a few minutes or few seconds, it is going to prepare the detailing for the beam. Not for one at a one floor, there will not be a one beam, there will be a multiple beam at one floor, you know very well. If I'm asking to do this kind of detailing in the CAD software, you can imagine what time will be required. You will need to 30 minutes 1 hour for one beam from the scratch, if suppose you are going to create it. And likewise, not one beam is there, at one floor there is hundred of beams, and there is about more than 10 floor, 12 floor, 30 floor. So tell me, is it possible to do the detailing manually? Not possible. So we have to take the help of this software, and this software will capable to prepare your schedule. This software will capable to prepare your detailing for the column, for the beam, for the slab, for the shear wall, for the foundation, for all the different structural elements we are going to prepare. And it is very interesting to discuss the RCDC software that we are going to cover in our training program. After the training, you will become master of this RCDC software. Definitely you will become a master. If you are giving the time, if you are taking the effort, you will become master how to deal this RCDC software. In a short period you can complete the project. And as I told you, this book of practical guide we are going to use for the completion of this project. So all the things we wrote in this book of practical guide, okay, so this also going to be provided in our training program. And guys, as I told you in the beginning of intermediate level, after the completion of intermediate level, you all participant will be confident to deal any real example project. That is what the objective and output of your intermediate level. So I just wanted to have your response in the chat box. Have you got the complete idea what you are going to learn and what you are going to get from your intermediate level? Just write in the chat box fast. पूरा आइडिया हो गया इंटरमीडिएट लेवल में आपको क्या मिलने वाला है, what we are going to cover in intermediate level. I got this. Okay, very good, very good. I appreciate your active participation throughout the demo session. Thank you very much, you all guys. Okay, please be present. We have to discuss one more level as advanced level. Okay, so now next is your advanced level, and obviously whatever the topics, whatever the points we have covered in our beginner level, in our intermediate level, obviously we are not going to discuss in advanced level. In advanced level, some advanced things, some conceptual things, some things related to your stability checks, something related to your advanced method of analysis, something in respect of advanced level of the design, something in respect of advanced level of the concept implementation in the Etabs software, something the minor points or important points or some very deep points of your code to be implemented in the Etabs software we are going to learn in this advanced level. So in the advanced level we are going to cover the project up to 30 floor building, and after this project you will be able to deal any tall structure.
So whenever you are going to deal for the tall structure, the important thing is that stiffness, important thing is that ductility, important thing is that strength. These three parameters are very much important to have your robust structure. What does mean by the robust structure? It's a very interesting term. I will explain in our training program in detail. So this robust structure is depends on the property of stiffness, ductility and strength. So how, while you are going to do the framing, how you are going to do the modeling, how you are going to choose the when you are going to choose the material property, so how you have to make the decision for all of these things, so you will have proper strength of your project, proper ductility of your project, proper stiffness of your project. These all things should be in proper proportion. If you are going to build any structure where the stiffness is very high but the ductility is less but the strength is less, wrong. The structure you are going to build where the ductility is very high, stiffness and strength is less, then that is also problem. So we have to maintain all these three things in an equal proportion. What does mean the static analysis, what does mean the dynamic analysis, okay, what is the linear analysis, what is the non-linear analysis, that we need to learn. In our intermediate level, at the initial stage we have learned for the seismic loading, for the wind loading and all, but in advanced level we will go one step ahead for understanding linear, non-linear, static, dynamic, when to perform, how to implement in the Etabs software, how to implement the results, how to do the stability checks, that we are going to learn. And we are going to do the manual calculation for the earthquake loading, we are going to do the wind load calculation by the spreadsheet for the tall structure. Doing the analysis, doing the calculation for the medium rise structure is different, doing the calculation for tall structure is totally different. We are going to see that for the tall structure how to do the calculation at different floors for the wind load, because if you are going to see the medium rise structure, the dominating force will be earthquake, but if you are going to deal with the tall structure, the dominating force will be your wind. We are going to discuss that part also. This is the calculation for the wind load by the spreadsheet. After doing this calculation, we have to apply over the software, in the software. Okay, then what is the concept of the meshing, what is the concept of finite element based analysis? Our Etabs software is going to work on the finite element based approach. Okay, what does it mean, how it is going to work, how it is going to be different from your conventional approach, how to implement is this, what is the meshing, how to do the meshing, what is the um, what does mean by the what discretization, okay, what is the node, what is the element, that we are going to learn, and all these definitions were given in your book of practical guide. And guys, the most important thing is that crack analysis, cracked section consideration, as per the recent codes IS 1893, as per recent code IS 16700, it is mandatory to perform the crack analysis, it is mandatory to perform the uncrack analysis, both is needed to perform, cracked as well as uncracked. Stiffness modeling consideration, okay, section modeling consideration to do, okay, that we will discuss from the basic. No worry if you are not knowing, मैं बहुत जीरो लेवल से कॉन्सेप्ट के साथ आपको डेफिनेशन के साथ आपको बुक ऑफ प्रैक्टिकल गाइड के गाइडलाइन के साथ पूरा एक्सप्लेन करके दूंगा. Okay, so you will become you will get the knowledge of this concept, its implementation in the Etabs software, and thereafter how to implement this stiffness concept or cracked analysis in plane stiffness, out of plane stiffness, as per the codal consideration. We are going to learn what does mean the lie load reduction factor if you are going to deal for the tall structure. It's a very good clause given by your IS 875 part 2. For the lie load reduction, you have a chance to reduce the lie load, so your design will be economical. So how to implement in the Etabs software, we are going to learn that. And now load combination for the tall structure we are going to define, and then finally we are going to do the Moodle analysis. What does by the Moodle analysis, why it is needed to perform the Moodle analysis, why it is important, okay, After the performing of modal analysis, you will be able to get the dynamic property of your structure. Without of knowing the dynamic property, you cannot design the structure. So modal analysis is very important to get the mode shape, to get the fundamental time period, to get the frequencies. P delta analysis, when to perform the P delta analysis, that we are going to see. And stability check, we are going to perform the stability check where our structure is stable or not in respect of torsional irregularity. Our IS code is saying that in the mode 1, in the mode 2, there should be a translational movement only. In the third mode, there should be what? Rotation. If it is there, then it is acceptable. If it is not like this, then there is a problem. It is not acceptable. So how to check it, how to correct it, how to correct your framing, that we will discuss in detail in our program, guys. Okay, now thereafter, buckling check. You might have heard about buckling of your column, but you may not have heard about the buckling of the structure. Buckling analysis check. Buckling analysis, we are going to do the buckling analysis in the advanced level for the tall structure. Lateral deflection drift check for the tall structure. Okay, optimization for the base shear value, scaling for the base shear value, that also we are going to learn. In this way we are going to cover our advanced level, and after the completion of advanced level you can deal any of the tall structure. Okay, lots of things we are going to cover, lots of things. So you will become master of dealing the tall structure as well, in addition to intermediate level. And in this way our advanced level we are going to complete, right? So now, after the completion of this training program, we will make a book of project completion report on your behalf. Okay, on your behalf. At different stages we are asking to do the task. After the completion of the task we are going to store that, and based on that we are going to prepare final project completion report, so that you can add in your design portfolio as you have completed the project. Okay, so this add-on we are going to provide. In this training program we are going to share book of practical guide. In this training program we are going to share the project completion report. In this training program you will get the certifications. This all we are going to provide to support you to get your dream destination. Okay, so that also you are going to get in this training program, and all the excel sheets also we are going to provide, all the pdfs we are going to provide, all the things that is needed to learn, progress, do this practice, you will get from this training program. Model file, cad file, project file, excel file, pdf file, everything we are going to share with you all, guys. And now, in market, if you are going to do the study, the people those who are teaching only for the beginner level, okay, they are not going to deal the real projects, they are not going to deal the real challenge, they are not professional structural engineers, they are going to charge about 8,000 to 20,000. The people those who are going to deal the real project by asking you all, guys, in their consultancy, in their mncs, they are charging about to 1 lakh rupees. The people those who are going to teach along with the beginner, intermediate, and for the tall structure advanced level, they are charging more than 1 lakh rupees. This is the true, you can search it. But guys, since from long time we are in this profession, we are providing the training, we have trained to more than thousands of structural engineers or professionals or students, and they have secured their profile in the structural design field after the completion of our training program. So we are going to give this entire training program for all the features, for all the contents, for all the things that we have discussed with all these three levels in just of 6,999. In just of what? 6,999. All the three levels we are going to cover in a sequence, and you will become master of dealing the software. After this you don't need to look at any other training. And guys, again I am going to repeat that the training is finally going to start from 11th of December, and the session timing will be evening 7:30 to 9, so it will suits to all the categories, those who are students, those who are professionals. There will be the live class, every day live class will be there except of Friday. one day holiday will be there, rest of all days classes will be. If you are going to miss one class or many class or all class, that doesn't matter, you will get the recording of the session with lifetime access. Okay, whether you are attending or not attending doesn't matter, you will get the recording of the classes. You can interact with the expert anytime, and we are going to cover the real project, real thing. And after the completion, what things you are going to get, we already have discussed all these three things. All these things we are going to provide: book of practical guide, project completion report, certifications, everything, along with the materials, study material, practice material, everything we are going to cover, right? And if you are interested to do the enrollment right now, just go and complete the enrollment in the enrollment link we have given in the chat box. Just check that. And the good news is that those who are going to enroll right now, they are getting the flat discount of about 500 rupees. For early 20 participants, we are giving this training program in just of 6499. Actual price is 6999, and our intention is not to drop this price, but only for the early comers, only for the people those who are going to take the action right now for this excellent level of the training program. We are going to provide that price in just of 6499. So quickly scan the barcode and go and complete your enrollment, or otherwise you can check your chat box. There also we have provided the link by our team. So complete your enrollment right now. Please complete your enrollment right now. And now if you are having any question or doubt, you can ask. Meanwhile, you can visit our website also, Struct Soft Center, and on this website you will land to this particular page, and through here also you can complete the enrollment. If you are doing the enrollment till the completion of this demo session or till the completion of 20 enrollment, you will get the flat of 500 discount. You will get the call program in just of 6499. So please guys, hurry up and complete your enrollment now.